And then we come to Halloween. This is the ancient Celtic and Druid festival. Druids, of course, the priestly class of the Celts. And they had a festival on November the 1st called Samhain. And the night before was basically the Night of the Dead. And they engaged once again in human sacrifice on one heck of a scale. And then, of course, Christianity came along. And as with Christmas, it hijacked Samhain and called November the 1st All Saints' Day. And the night before became known as All Hallows. I've seen it some places as All Hallows Eve, which morphed into what we today call Halloween. And Halloween, in the days of the Celts, was a great time of human sacrifice. And of course, humanity reached a point where this was no longer acceptable, that you could not openly do these human sacrifices as part of your culture. But it didn't stop. When it became unacceptable to do it in the open, it went underground and has continued ever since in the networks of Satanism and the elite bloodline families who are actually the force in the end behind Satanism. Satanism, where they worship their unseen, malevolent, demonic, quote, gods. And they sacrifice to these gods. And, you know, we have this theme where the ancients used to sacrifice young virgins to the gods. Young virgins is just code, symbolism for children. And Halloween, while kids around, particularly the Western world, are engaging in trick-or-treating and dressing up as ghosts and monsters, while they're doing that and having their fun in that side of Halloween, in the shadows, phenomenal numbers of children are being sacrificed by these crazies, these psychopaths beyond words. And people might say, well, hold on, where do all the children come from? Well, if you perceive the number of children that go missing in the world every year by the number of missing children stories you see on the news, then you are massively, beyond words, missing the plot. Extraordinary numbers of children go missing worldwide every year, never to be seen again, at least officially. Now, not all of those children end up with the Satanists, but a significant number do. And these are where the sacrifices come from. And so often, a lot of these children are brought up in these cults specifically for sacrifice. And therefore, they operate in their own bubble outside of mainstream society, often with the connivance of those in authority who connect into these satanic networks. And so a lot of children that are sacrificed have never actually been officially registered as existing. They have people in these satanic cults they call breeders, women called breeders, who are held in captivity and give birth to children who are then sacrificed, babies that are then sacrificed, sometimes even fetuses that are aborted and then used in sacrifice. I think I mentioned earlier that there are two worlds in our reality. The one that most people perceive to be how things are. But there's another one that is so horrifically different to that, that those in the world of the general population will overwhelmingly say, that's rubbish, that's nonsense, that can't be happening. Because this other world is so dramatically, fundamentally, beyond words different to the world of the seen in general society, that chasm of difference is too much for most people to breach in terms of their perceptions of possibility. And also connected to this whole area of child abuse is this whole paedophilia horror, which has come to light very much in England in recent years, but of course now the lid's been put on that. Oh my, we can't let them know this. Shut it up, shut it up. Because the same networks are involved in the systematic sexual and violent abuse of children. It's all connected to this same network. This is why you have so many people in positions of power, politically and otherwise, who are both paedophiles and Satanists. So we have this period now coming up on Monday of Halloween. And to the Celts and the Druids, this was a time when the veil between this world and other worlds, the world of the dead, if you like, thinned, and the dead could re-enter this world, and people from this world could enter the world of the dead. Now, there's another big error that's made in terms of perceptions of how things are. And that is that knowledge can only move forward. That wherever we are at any point in what we call human evolution, it must be at the cutting edge of human knowledge. Not necessarily so. Okay, let's look at ancient Egypt. Now let's look at Egypt today. The very comparison between the two reveals that societies can go back in terms of where they are, as well as forward. And what is the key to that? It's knowledge. It's the circulation of knowledge, the circulation of understanding. Now, if you can systematically withdraw, suppress, which is what they've done massively through religion, not least Christianity, if you can withdraw and suppress knowledge so it goes out of general circulation, then that society is less knowledgeable, less evolved, if you like, in terms of awareness of reality than it was before. And there was knowledge circulating about the nature of reality in these ancient societies, like the Celts and so many others all over the world, that has been withdrawn from human society. It's just starting to come back now. And funnily enough, it's coming back into the form of things like quantum physics in our way of expressing it. But they knew, without using words like frequency and such like, these ancient societies, certainly the key people within them that held this knowledge, they knew that this reality was only one of endless realities that shared the same space as this one, like radio and television stations in the analog system share the same space without interfering with each other unless they're really close on the dial. And therefore they knew that interpenetrating this world were other realms, what we would now call bands of frequency, that